So hello and welcome. My name is Sara Syswerda and I work over at Cedar Creek Institute. I'm going to be talking today about a couple grant projects that we had funded through the Michigan Space Grant Consortium over the last year and a half. And so we really have been working as a team. So there are several people who have helped with this, including Debbie Kilmartin and Ellen Holste. And so one of the big things I wanted to mention is this is part of our larger sort of overall strategy to be improving science literacy in Barry County. And so we have had the Science Strong program since 2014, and really that's focused on this audience of pre-K-12 students locally here in Barry County. We've had about 29,000 student contacts during that time. And that is funded partially through private donors and some through foundations and grants. So that is a combination of professional development in school programs and field trip programs and a lending library. So one of the things that has happened is that during COVID, we had to sort of rethink what we were up to. And so that's one of the reasons we ended up putting together these two grant projects. The first one is putting together a asynchronous teacher training hub so that teachers would be able to virtually participate in teacher trainings. And so this was a mix of content and pedagogy, but they're 1 hour modules that teachers would come and choose out of a menu of options. At this point, we have about 30 of them that are up on our website. And so really the teachers who participated really liked that they had that asynchronous option, particularly for those who had small children or just weren't able to get to in-person trainings or live training. It worked out well for them. So we also offered in the summer of 2021 some in-person engineering trainings for teachers. And so this was really very targeted training that was specific to their particular grade level, and each of those sessions focused on 3 particular engineering projects tied to their grade level. And so they were working through projects, talking about pedagogy and strategies related to the engineering design process. Really, one of the big things that we learned out of the engineering design sort of teacher trainings was that teachers really did like having that grade level specific training that they could take and apply and take directly into the classroom. A lot of them had done some previous projects related to building or maker spaces, but hadn't really gone through that whole process of thinking through your problem, thinking about constraints, just all of those pieces that end up really being important for the engineering design process. And so we have been in the process of taking those materials and converting them into asynchronous modules so teachers who weren't able to participate in person could do that virtually. So just generally from our teacher professional development programs, we've had several sort of big takeaways. Often we are, with teacher professional development, attracting the choir. So trying to think about how do we incentivize those teachers who aren't sort of the usual suspects to come out for training. You know, I think stipends are a big way that you can help get teachers motivated to want to participate, but thinking about other ways, whether that's leveraging administrator motivation or other sorts of things. We had a lot of participation from variety of districts, and so there's a lot of variation in how much teachers can actually do in their classroom with the constraints they have. And then also just I think a big one that we hadn't really thought about was just this idea that some teachers really strongly prefer in-person trainings and others strongly prefer virtual trainings or asynchronous trainings, and that we often are targeting different populations of teachers based on the structure of that training that we're offering. So for us, next steps, we're going to be continuing to offer some asynchronous and synchronous trainings, including continuing to run the virtual hub, doing some book studies, which were also things that teachers had requested, as well as more in-person trainings. And and probably some more over Zoom. So we're also going to be adding stipends to our asynchronous teacher training module to try and make those smaller pieces more motivating for teachers. So you have a great day, and I welcome you to contact us if you have questions. So thank you.